ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Yes, pardon.
ब्रह्मेति होवाच ब्रह्मणो वा एतत् विजयेमहि ततो हैव विदाञ्चकार ब्रह्मेति तस्मात् वा एते देवा अधितराम्बिवान्यान् देवान्यदग्निर्वायुरिन्द्रस्तेहेनन्नेतिष्ठम् पस्पर्शुस्तेहेन प्रथमो विदाञ्चकार ब्रह्मेति तस्माद् वा इन्द्रोऽधिधराम्बिवान्यान् देवान् सहेनन्नेतिष्ठ पस्पर्शसहेन प्रथमो विदाञ्चकार ब्रह्मेति तस्यैष आदेशो यदेतद्विद्युतो व्यद्युतदा इति न्यमीमिषदा इत्यधिदैवतम् अथाध्यात्मं यतेतत् गच्छतीव च मनोनेन चैतदुपस्मरत्यभीक्ष्णकु सङ्कल्पः तद्वनं नाम तद्वनमित्युपासितव्यम् स य एतदेवं वेदापि हैनगु सत्त्वानि भूतानि सम्वाचन्ति उपनिषदं भो ब्रूहीत्युक्ता तवुपनिषत् ब्राह्मी भावत उपनिषदमब्रूमेति तस्यैतपोदमकर्मेति प्रतिष्ठा वेदा सर्वाङ्गाणि सत्यमायतनम् यो वा एतामेवं वेदापहत्य पाप्मानमनन्ते स्वर्गे लोके जेये प्रतितिष्ठति प्रतितिष्ठति।
The question Indra asked, who is that Yaksha? Uma replied, that is Brahman. The greatness, you are able to attain the victory because of Brahman. For a person that is not prepared, for the one who has not gone through the preparatory practices. When we say preparatory practices, to put it very simply, you understand the word English, and if you have a hearing capacity and little bit interested in this, you can listen to an Upanishad class. All that you need to listen to an Upanishad class, this classroom is what? You need to know a little bit of English language and a good hearing capacity and a little bit of interest in this also. That is enough. That's all you need. Does this make a person qualified to listen to an Upanishad? Is this enough for a person to understand the inner meaning of the Upanishad is the question. That is what happened to Vayu, Agni, etc. They came in contact, they had a conversation also, but nothing happened to them. Meaning, they come in interaction with it, but they cannot know it. They cannot understand it. Why? Because the preparation is not done. The preparation is Chitta Shuddhi. So throughout he keeps repeating the throughout he keeps repeating the same thing. What is it? You can hear the word Brahman and it will not make any difference to you. Just as, if you remember, when we did the 11th chapter yesterday morning, we said, if you are not prepared, Ravana can see Rama and nothing will happen. Sabari also saw Rama. Sabari also saw Rama. Ravana also saw Rama. Isn't it? Shurpanaka also saw Rama. Isn't it? Shurpanaka saw Rama and she got lustful. She became lustful looking at Rama. Sabari saw Rama and she saw something else. Ravana also saw Rama and he saw something else. Therefore, to see it rightly, the presence of the person and the instruments is not enough. Inner preparation is required. The most painful aspect of Vedanta is the preparatory disciplines. The preparatory disciplines is the most painful aspect because we believe that we are already prepared. Either we are already prepared or I don't need this or I don't need this guidance at all. I can do it by long back. In Mysore, I was when I was doing classes there used to be a very senior doctor that I used to visit for classes. And that person is one of the very close associates of the Sringeri Mutt, the Sringeri Acharya, Sringeri Mutt. Very close he was. One of the devotees who used to live in Sringeri Mutt will take the bus and come to my house just to do one Shraddha ceremony and go back. That's Shastrigal. He will just come for that. So wonderful, wonderful doctor. One day I told him something and that's the last day I met him. After that, I didn't meet him. Because he kept on saying, I want to study it by myself and understand. I want to study it by myself and understand. I want to study it by myself and understand. So 2 weeks I stayed quiet, 3 weeks I stayed quiet. Indirectly telling him it doesn't work like that. 4th week I told him, why you didn't study by yourself and self-certify that you are a doctor? Why do you have to still go to the council and get the certificate from them? Why do you have that certificate? You know, some of these doctors, they have that certificate in the consulting room. No. Why? Because it is an assurance to you that it is an assurance not for him. The certificate is kept as an assurance for you, for the patient. What is assurance? He has gone through the proper system of study and learning. He is not a self-taught doctor. Correct? He went through the system properly. He is not a self-taught. He's not a self-taught doctor. He didn't go to the medical books, read the books by himself and became wise. He wrote exams. Somebody decided that he is qualified to be a doctor. Correct? Are you able to follow what is happening? Somebody decides whether you are qualified to be a doctor or not, isn't it? You can't print your own certificate MSc Mathematics, no, isn't it? How much ever you think you know more than the professors, you can't print your own certificate. It is a university that has to give the certificate. It means learning can never be done by oneself bypassing guidance. See, rarely one or two fellows will come. Exceptions they are, and exceptions don't make the rules. See, one Ramana Maharishi came. I know millions are going to that ashram and I'm just hallucinating. That's all. Nothing is happening there. They just go and sit there and hallucinate. That's all. Why? Because we don't need the guru. Able to follow? We don't need the guru. I can do it by myself. Vedanta comes and says you cannot do it by yourself. If you can do it by yourself, it doesn't work that way. If there is a guru who can, there is an inspiration guru. There's a guru who can inspire you. And there is a guru who can teach you. Both are different. An inspiration guru can only tell you what to do, what not to do. He can't teach you. He can only tell you, do this, don't do this. It's like you go to a doctor gives you a prescription. That is guidance. What to do, what not to do. Are you able to follow? He only gives a guidance. What to do, what not to do. Imagine the same doctor sitting and teaching you anatomy, physiology, chemistry. What is he doing? What is he doing? He is not giving you a prescription. He is teaching. Now, most of the time, the guru who gives this is the inspirational gurus are misunderstood as, the inspirational gurus are misunderstood as teaching gurus. You need to be very, very clear. You have to be very, very clear. That's why in Vedanta, they have the gradations of gurus itself. There is the Sparsha Guru, there is the Diksha Guru. There is a guru that initiates you into a mantra, Diksha. He will say, yeah, I took Diksha from this person. That's the Diksha Guru. You don't, you can't gain Brahma Vidya from that Guru. There is no Brahma Vidya possible from that Guru. And then there is a, by seeing only that Guru can give you, by touching only something can give you. Upanishad says, all this don't work out. Why? When Indra came, Yaksha could have simply seen, no. Carefully follow now. When Indra came, Yaksha could have simply seen and Indra would have known. Why Yaksha has to disappear and Uma has to appear? That is one of the very, very important aspects of Vedanta which people keep missing. What? It cannot be, you cannot do it by yourself without the guidance of the Guru. Without the guidance of the Guru also you can learn one or two tricks, but you can never learn, you can never learn it anything as a whole. If you want to learn anything as a whole, you need a Guru. That is symbolic meaning of Yaksha appearing and Uma, Yaksha disappearing and Uma appearing. You cannot do it anything without the presence of the Guru. What kind of Guru? Guru, not from a photograph. You cannot have a Guru teaching you from a photograph. From a photograph Guru, what can the photograph Guru do? Narayana. The photograph Guru, what can he do? What can any photograph do? Nothing it can do. Correct? Nothing. Photograph cannot do anything. You will be the one who will ask the question and you will be the one who is answering it by yourself. And then you will say, I got it from the Guru taught me. No photograph can teach. Therefore, what is important? A live Guru is important. Not only a Guru is important, the Guru has to be a person in a Guru has to be in person. So Uma represents the Guru Brahma Vidya. The Guru aspect of Brahma Vidya is represented by Uma. Yaksha is Brahman. Uma is also Brahman. Again, Yaksha is also Brahman. Is there a difference between Yaksha and Uma? There's no difference. Don't say yes. There's no difference at all, because Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. The knower of Brahman becomes Brahman. Therefore, there is no difference between Yaksha and Uma. But what is needed? What is needed? A Guru is needed. Why I'm emphasizing is because nowadays people have the think that all that we need to do is we can do it by I can watch YouTube lectures. Sir, your YouTube lectures, nothing will work out. Nothing will work out. Why? Because it is the Guru that can tell you where you are going wrong. The book is not going to tell you where you are going to go wrong. The photograph is not going to tell you where you are going wrong. Your ego will not tell you where you are going wrong. It is the live Guru can tell you where you are going wrong. And obviously that Guru will not be liked. Why? Obviously you will not like that Guru. Why? Because you don't want to know. You don't want to know that. You follow? So, what is important here? Indra represents the qualified person. Indra represents the qualified person. Indra is not, Vayu is not qualified. Agni is not qualified. What is the qualification? Atma Bodha, he calls it as Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampat. Atma Bodha defines it as very beautifully. Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampat. Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampati, Mumukshatva. These are the preparatory qualifications. If that four is not appealing, the same thing will be reworded in another way. What is rewording in another way? Work for Loka Sangraha as Ishvara Seva. Work for the welfare of the Loka as Ishvara Seva. Are you able to follow the difference? Work for the welfare of the world as service to, not that the world requires your service. Please. இப்போ நான் Kenopanisad பேசலன்னா கூட அது யூடியூப்ல ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணி போடலன்னா கூட Kenopanisad will live. There will not be a problem at all as far as Kenopanisad is concerned. If I do it as the Ishvara Seva, not because I am going to teach on Kenopanisad, then that becomes Chitta Shuddhi. Then this act of teaching can become Chitta Shuddhi. Are you able to follow? Otherwise, working for Loka Sangraha itself can make you very arrogant, because you are the giver and the world is the receiver. No, you are the giver and world is the receiver. Obviously arrogance will develop. So Loka Sangraha, instead of making you humble, will end up becoming more. We will make you more, as it is, there is arrogance, and this Loka Sangraha will make you more arrogance. That's why he says, all these people, this Kanchi Acharya used to say, Periva used to say, all these people who are doing this Loka Sangraha without Ishvara Seva Arpana Buddhi is like going to have a bathe in the, going to bathe and come back with Serigana English. Come back with more slush. You go to have a bath. Bathing is for what? For cleansing yourself. Now you go to bathe and come out with குளிக்க போயிட்டு சேரோட வருது, he will say. Ser means, I don't know, a slush. Slush is the word for ser in English. I don't know. It's, it's you go to this ponds, that mud there, which is like the slush, more dirty. You get in and you come out. So, Loka Sangraha without Ishvara Seva Arpana makes you more dirty. So, one angle of purification, sadhana chatushtaya. So, viveka, vairagya, mumukshatva, in the words allam kettale allergica irukudhu. Or so, having heard this word so many times, you are frustrated and irritated by these words. Say something different. Okay. Loka Sangraha as Ishvara Seva. Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. Loka Sangraha as Ishvara Seva. That is another way of purification. Okay, this at all is very, very, this Viveka, Vairagya, Sadhana Chatushtaya is not appealing. This Loka Sangraha with Ishvara Seva is not appealing. Live a life of Achara. A life of Acharam. Oh, that is also not appealing. Naraka will teach you. If none of this is appealing, what else to do? Naraka will teach you. Naraka will teach you means the pain, the sorrow, the suffering will teach you. Of all the methods, what is the best? There is no the best. Whichever motivates you, keep doing that. Whatever is inspiring you, do that. Don't worry about of all this which is the best. For somebody, life of Achara is very, very interesting. For somebody, Loka Seva as Ishvara Seva, Loka Sangraha as Ishvara Seva is appealing. Because, see, there are people who are so restless. They have to keep doing something. You wake up in the morning, you feel like running out of the house, isn't it? So restless. You have to do something. Now, what to do for that person? You can't tell that person live a life of Achara and all. It will not help that person. Therefore, for that person, Loka Sangraha with Ishvara Seva Bhava. Do that. There are people who are okay by themselves, live a life of Achara. Okay. And then there is another group. You can tell them, go through this process of Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampath. Can you mix match everything? Doesn't matter. Mix match everything also. Doesn't matter. Mix match everything. At the end of it, what should happen? Chitta Shuddhi should happen. Chitta Shuddhi should happen. What about pilgrimages and chanting and pilgrimages and bhajans, etc.? What about all that? Do that also if it is bringing in Chitta Shuddhi. If you are going there to, if you are going there, if you are going on a pilgrimage, if you are going on all this with the understanding of Chitta Shuddhi, it becomes meaningful. without the idea of Chitta-Shuddhi behind it, singing or this yatras or this pilgrimages, all this becomes another entertainment time pass. After retirement, I don't know what to do, sir. Therefore, this year I'm going on Kailash Manasarovar, next year I'm going on Chardham, next year I'm going here, next year I'm going there. You follow? That's why the culture, the tradition says, before you do any of these yatras and all that, visit. You know that nowadays nobody does all that, but that's how it should be done. Before you do any of these things, first thing is you have to visit your Kuladaiva and take permission from there and go. You know that nobody knows all, nobody does all that. Because randomly they just need to buy a ticket and all that is needed is buy a ticket and go, isn't it? What is it that Kuladaiva is not going to give, that these temples are going to give? Is to bring an awareness. Are you able to follow? They are not saying don't go. Can't, because it's not like a supermarket where you just go from temple to temple to temple to do all this. So the issue is you go there, repeatedly you go there, one day you will wake up and ask this question, what is it that is not happening here that's going to happen in Chardham? What will happen? In Kailash Manasarovar, what will happen? If nothing will happen. Why? Because the remembrance of the divine for Chitta Shuddhi. These are all the preparatory practices that I'm talking about. Are you able to follow? These are all the preparatory practices. Once you are sufficiently prepared, you will be able to understand Brahma Vidya. You'll be able to understand Brahma Vidya. What is understanding Brahma Vidya? Understanding the glory of it. What is the glory of Brahma Vidya? Chapter 9, verse 2. Remember? Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya, Pavitram idam Uttamam. Pratyaksha, Dharmyam, Susukam, Kartum Avyayam. This is the glory of Brahma Vidya. The glory of Brahma Vidya is glory of Brahman, is glory of Guru. All are one and the same. The glory of Brahma Vidya, the glory of Brahman, and the glory of Guru. All are one and the same. Is very easy to perform. Susukam. Sukam nale it is Sukam. Susukam is objective. Is an added adjective. Sukam itself is Sukam. Susukam means more easily. More Sukam it is. So blissful it is. To whom? To the one who is prepared. To the one who is not prepared, Yama will come and tell you. If you have done this, Rajavidya, Rajaguhya, Susu, all that if you have not done, Yama will come and tell you. What will Yama come and tell you? Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapya Varanni Bodhata, Shurasya Dara Nishita Dhuratyaya, Durgham Avayoho Vadanti. The wise people say this path, Nachiketas, is like razor's edge. This path, Nachiketas, is like walking on razor's. It's like walking on razor's edge. That difficult it is. Krishna is saying Susukam. Look at that. Krishna is saying Rajavidya, Rajaguhya, Pavitram, Idam Uttamam. Susukam. Not only it is Susukam, imperishable, Avyayam Dharmyam. Avyayam Dharmyam. Susukam, Pratyaksham. Pratyaksha means it teaches you, so directly it teaches you. For the one who is well prepared, Rajavidya, Rajaguhya. For the one who is not well prepared, razor's edge. What is razor's edge means? You come into the path to get rid of the ego and you end up having more ego. That's the razor's edge. What is razor's edge? You come into the path wanting to get rid of the ego. Wanting to get rid of the ego, but you end up developing more ego. Therefore, Yaksha is Nirguna Brahman. Uma is Nirguna Brahman appearing in a form. Both are Nirguna only. Both are Nirguna only. Both are Nirguna appearing in a form. Because it is appearing in a form, it is easy to understand. Are you okay till now? This is the glory of Brahma Vidya. And what did Uma say? You have no right to any glory. Narayana. Maname irukudadu. Maname irukudadu. Why are you unnecessarily having extra baggage? Unnecessary extra baggage. Ego only suffers with all this. If you are wise man, drop. Yeah. So, Manshanna, Vekkam, Manala Argunuma, Rajkumar. Manshanna, Enala Argukudadu. Vekkam, Mano, Roshan, unnecessary baggage, all this is. Unnecessarily getting egoistic and suffering. Individual glory, that's all. What you are talking about is, should I not be glorified? Can I not glorify myself? Don't I deserve any glory? All glory belongs only to Brahman, God. No glory comes to you. That's where Vayu and Agni got completely humiliated. Can you imagine? Agni comes near you and you are asking Agni, who are you? Kitta varumbode you will know, isn't it? Vayu need not come closer. From there only you will know. Looking at the sky only you will know. Tamil Nadu weatherman will tell you, isn't it? Vayu is going to come. He himself will tell you 1 week in advance. He will tell you. And that Vayu is coming in front. Brahman is asking, who are you? In chapter 10 Bhagavad Gita, whatever glory anyone has, it is mine. He has already said that, no? Chapter 10 Bhagavad Gita. Vijay, we studied chapter 10 also in Bhagavad Gita. In that chapter 10, anybody has any glory, what did he say? He said, it's mine. Abdin. What does it mean? What does it mean? Glory is only of God. Tadviddi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Upadekshante tu jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmano. All this indicates what? The importance of preparation and the glory of Brahma Vidya, and also who will come and teach. Tadvijnanartam sa gurumeva abhigachet samitpani shrotriyam brahmanishtam. Yeah. Carry samitpani. Samit is that stick. Samit is that stick. Taking that, the well-qualified student goes in search of the Guru, and the Guru alone can teach Brahma Vidya. And one good thing that Guru put on a pedestal like the Vaishnava Sampradaya, nobody does. No, there are people, because I have gone to that school, I know quite a few from that sect, so orthodox they are. Normally, when you see a guru, you should prostrate 5 times, 7 times. தெரியுமா? ஒரு வாட்டி பெண்டே பண்ண முடியல இப்போ, isn't it? This pain, that pain எல்லாம் வந்துட்டு இருக்குது. Where one bend itself is not possible. 5 times you have to prostrate. 7 times you have to prostrate. Get up, prostrate. Get up, prostrate. Get up, prostrate. In Vaishnava Sampradaya, till the guru says stop, the fellow will not stop. They will continue to prostrate. You know that? Gosh. Ramanuja went to meet his guru, and his guru is sitting in the banks of the Srirangam, in the banks of the Kaveri, summer time. The guru is sitting there talking to somebody. Ramanuja started prostrating and he is talking. Guru didn't say stop, he went on prostrating. His whole body got burnt. After a while, he'll turn back and say, enough, stop. But after the whole body get burnt, இன்னைக்கெல்லாம் அந்த மாதிரி குரு இருந்தா they will be sued, isn't it? Yeah. Supreme Court to full bench will say Supreme Court to full bench will say this is human, this is insulting, below human dignity. Narayana. How can you do that? Beautiful preparation, beautiful sampradaya, beautiful this. This is verse number, Upanishad, we have to say mantra. In Bhagavad Gita, we say verse, Upanishad, we say mantra. This is mantra 1. Now we'll study mantra 2.
Tasmadva yete deva adhitarami vanyan devanyadagnit Vayurindraste henat nedishtam pasparshuste henat pratamo vidanchakara brahmeti Tasmat va indroti dharami vanyan devan sahenan nedishtam pasparsha sahenat pratamo vidanchakara brahmeti.
2 and 3 combined. Yes. 2 and 3 combined. And it's the same thing. So, Tasmat, therefore, verily these gods, Agni, Vayu, Indra, even excel other gods, for they indeed approached this nearest. Thus, they indeed were the first to know Brahman. This, that, I don't know. Therefore, verily Indra excels other gods, for he approached this nearest. Thus, he indeed was the first to know Brahman. If part 1 and part 2 of Kenopanisad is very easy to teach, very easy to explain. This is far more, that's why we say, what is the story? The story is more complicated than the theorem. Beautiful is this. Therefore, these gods, Agni, Vayu, Indra, excel other gods, for they approached that the nearest, and they were the first to know him as Brahman. Verse number, mantra 3. And therefore, Indra excels other gods, for he approached the spirit nearest, and he was the first to know him as Brahman. What the story started in part 3 ends with this mantra 3. Story is over with mantra 3. Upadesha starts with mantra 4. And the Upadesha that Uma is giving is more complicated than the Upanishad itself. The Upasana, the method. That we will study. When we go there, we'll study. So for all practical purposes, story is over with mantra 3. These gods, Agni, Vayu, and Indra, excel the other gods. Why they excel the other gods? The Karmendriyas and Jnanendriyas excel the other deities, because they can get some clarity on the enlivening factor. The Jnanendriyas and Karmendriyas excel other gods. These three gods are superior to other gods. Now, these three gods are superior to other gods because of what? Because superiority, because of they can have some access to Brahma Vidya. Because of them having some access to Brahma Vidya, they are superior. Okay, human beings are superior because of knowledge. The superiority of human being itself is because of the, the knowledge. First thing, this Agni, Vayu, Indra combined is a human being. Understand it like that. Agni, Vayu, Indra is a human being. The gross body and the subtle body. Because we have seen it any number of times. Agni, Vayu represents Karmendriyas, Jnanendriyas, Indra the mind. Therefore, these three becomes excel the other gods. Other gods means the other species, the other things. Because of this only they say, Jantunam Narajanma Durlabam. We have said this any number of times, no? Jantunam Narajanma Durlabam. What is this Narajanma Durlabam? Agni, Vayu, Indra. That's why each and every mantra, each and every verse that comes later will always have a Upanishadic connection. And Upanishad speaks a language, decoding that is more complicated. Therefore, it is easy to read a book like Bhagavad Gita, Viveka Chudamani, Atma Bodha. Because there it is said so directly that it can be taught. Upanishad has to be, you have to sit and decode them. And this decoding is very essential also at one point of time because it exposes you to the subtlety of the knowledge. So this decoding is also very important. And what is the assumption here? The qualified student is sitting and decoding. That's the assumption here. Uma is sitting and decoding with Indra. இங்க வந்து பேசுறவரும் உமா கிடையாது, கேட்கிறவங்களும் இந்திரா கிடையாது. So it doesn't make, இல்ல நமக்கு இங்க ப்ராப்ளமே கிடையாது. Isn't it? You're able to understand that. So these three excel other gods means what? Human being excel others. Why? Why are they able to excel others? Because they are the ones, because of the ability to gain knowledge, the ability to understand Brahma Vidya, because of the subtle intellect, they are able to be, they excel other gods. Are you able to follow now? Why Uma says they excel other gods. And then in that three, Indra is the first to know. Because the Indra, the mind can come up to the understanding of Saguna Brahman, Maya, God, etc. It can come up to that point. Indra here is mind, subtle intellect, all put together. Are you able to follow now? What is he saying? Ganesh, are you able to follow? So, these gods excel other gods. Indra, Vayu, Agni excelled other gods. Now, Indra excels Vayu and Agni. Why? Because Vayu and Agni are the Karmendriyas, Jnanendriyas, the grosser part of it. Indra represents the prepared mind. Indra represents the prepared, the mind. Because of the preparation, he approached Brahman nearest. Nearest is not the physical proximity. Nearest is not by distance. Nearest is not by time. I'm very close. I'm on the way. I'll be there in 1 minute. No? Close, not in that sense. Close because of the inner preparation, the inner maturity. Therefore, he says, and therefore Indra excels, other gods. Indra because of coming with humility, he is able to know. The sense organs, the jnanendriyas and karmendriyas can never know Brahman. Tadeva brahmatvam viddhi nedam yadidam upasate. Tadeva brahmatvam viddhi nedam yadidam upasate. The sense organs can never know. The sense organs, the mind, the gross intellect can never know Brahman. Why? Because the pramanam with which they go by is pratyaksha, anumana, etc. Because of the instruments of pratyaksha, anumana, they are so dependent upon, they can never know Brahman. They can never know Brahman. Therefore, here he is talking about the instrument that has dropped it. He is talking about that where it has been dropped. It is dropped. What is dropped? The pratyaksha, the pratyaksha, upamana, anumana, pramanams and all as authority has been dropped. And what has become the only pramanam? Shastram. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te. Now Shastram alone has become the Pramanam. Shastram in the form of Guru Vakyam. Understand that. Shastram not as a book of constitution. Shastram in the form of Guru Vakyam. Shastram in the form of the Guru Vakyam becomes the Pramanam. Indra stood with Shraddha. Indra stood there with Shraddha. Because Indra stood there with Shraddha, Uma is able to reveal Brahman. Uma is able to reveal Brahman. Uma represents the Shruti, the Vedas. Mother. Why the mother? Why the mother? How many ever times you fall, in her deepest core, she will never drop you out. She will never say, that is the mother. How many ever times you fall, in the core of her heart, she will never ever say, I'm done with you. That is the mother. That's why the Shruti is always equated, the Vedas, the knowledge, the Shruti is all equated to a goddess. Why? Goddess is symbolic of the mother. And why the mother? How many ever times you fall, how many ever times you don't understand, how many ever times you violate the injunctions, she is still ready. Are you able to follow? Mother doesn't. How many ever times the injunctions are violated, how many ever times it is ignored, how many ever times it is done, she is still ready, isn't it? She is still ready. Second thing, mother is the symbolic of anticipation. Mother always symbolizes, mother is symbolic of anticipation. Anticipation means anticipating the need of the child and ready. That is the mother. So what the Guru does, the Shastra is able to anticipate the need of the Shishya and come out with various methods, various techniques. It's not that they come and ask and then they sit and think. Isn't it? It's not the child comes and says, I'm hungry, and then the mother decides to cook or not. Isn't it? Even before the child comes from school, the mother is ready with anticipating the hunger. She is ready. Similarly, the Shruti, the Shastras, the Vedas, the Guru have anticipated all the possible needs of the Sishyas, the disciples, and they are ready with guidance. That is Uma. And anybody who does that is wonderful, beautiful. That's why Uma is described. That's why Uma is described as a mother, beauty. To inquiry, are you okay till now? Why Indra amongst the Vayu, Agni, Indra alone gotten? Because to do inquiry, you cannot do inquiry with the eyes. Pratyakta, this organs of perception and organs of action, you cannot do inquiry. Inquiry can be done only by the intellect, which is Indra. Therefore, Indra excelled. Indra excelled the other gods. The Nirguna Brahman is not available for worship. The Nirguna Brahman is not available for worship, for prayer, for nothing. Therefore, so many systems says it is not Nirguna, it is Kalyana Guna. The difference between the two schools of philosophy is Ganesh. Difference, summa note panni vechukongo. Nirguna and Kalyana Guna. Kalyana Guna means God is with noble qualities. Kalyana Guna means noble thing. Daya, Karuna, whatever be it. That is Saguna. Saguna. Where they have a problem with the Advaita is the Nirguna is the problem. The word Nirguna is the problem. The moment you say Kalyana Guna, Saguna means Kalyana Guna. Saguna means what guna? Saguna means with guna. Nirguna, no attributes, no qualities. No attributes, no qualities means incomprehensible. Again, Narayana, carefully follow. No attributes, no qualities means incomprehensible, anirvachaniya. Not that it is like the shunya without anything. It is incomprehensible, it is. Another Guru, what do you mean by income? How can you worship that? How can you be devoted to that which is incomprehensible? Therefore, what you are talking doesn't make any sense at all. God is Saguna. God is Sagunam. Saguna means Kalyana Guna. Sa means with. What is that with? Rakshasa Gunas? No. Kalyana Guna. There is no difficulty in both the schools about law of karma. Both accept law of karma. Both accept Shabdam as the Pramana. But where comes the difference is this. Saguna or Nirguna. Ramakrishna will say God is with form, God is without form, God is beyond both. Kshara, Akshara, Uttama Purusha. God is beyond. Is God with form or without form? Arjuna asked in 12th chapter, should I worship you with form or without form? Sagunama, Nirgunama. How I should worship you? Tell me that very clearly. Ignorance always asks this question, yes or no? Isn't it? Ignorance all yes or no. What is the answer? What is the answer that life always gives you? Yes or no? Abdina. What is the answer that life gives you, Vijay? Yes and no. Yes under some circumstances, no under some circumstances. It's neither yes or no. Sir, இது பண்ணலாமா பண்ணக்கூடாதா அப்படிலாம் சொல்ல முடியாது. Conditions we should know. The conditions, the persons, the background, with all that only we can say yes or no. Per se, you get the per se, there is no yes or no. See, per se yes or no is only Pratyaksha Pramana. Are you able to follow? Is there this object? Yes or no? Is there this object hanging? Yes or no? Yes, because it is pratyaksha. Where it is pratyaksha, the answer can be given yes or no. And the subtler things of life is not dependent on pratyaksha pramana. Therefore, you can never say yes or no. Should I marry this person? Yes or no? Answer is, what is the answer? Answer is yes and no. பண்ணீங்கன்னா இதெல்லாம் வரும், இதெல்லாம் ஓகேன்னா go, no no இதெல்லாம் வேணான்னா no. So the answer is yes and no. Are you able to follow? Therefore, the pratyaksha pramanam, the Indra and the Vayu and Agni is so dependent on the pratyaksha pramanam. So therefore, they can never know God. Saguna or Nirguna. Again, they come and say this Nirguna is not another adjective of God. Nirguna means Anirvachaniyam. Nirguna means it is Anirvachaniyam, indescribable. Therefore, all the debates is what is God with guna or not. So what God can be worshipped, what God can be praised, what God you can associate with. Saguna Brahman alone can be taken for worship, and that Saguna Brahman becomes an idol representing the ideal. Tadeva Brahmatvam Viddhi Nedam Yadidam Upasate. Tadeva Brahmatvam Viddhi Nedam Yadidam Upasate. The idol never becomes an ideal. Number one. Number two, nobody worships the idol. Everybody worships only the ideal. Again, nobody worships the idol. Everybody worships the ideal only. The difference is what? The ideal is a pure subjective vision. Ideal is a pure subjective vision. The tricolor flag. Yeah. Yesterday afternoon from 3 o'clock, the tricolor started going down, isn't it? It was going down, going down, going down. 10:30, it went out. Completely, it went out. Now, the tricolor as an idol representing the nation is purely a subjective phenomena for whom? Only for an Indian, isn't it? Otherwise, it's a flag that represents India, like a school exam answer, but it will not stir anything in you. Are you able to follow? Therefore, idol is always a subjective phenomena representing an ideal. Nobody worships idol. They all worship ideals only. And because it is a so subjective a phenomena, the other cannot see it. The other can never ever see it. Are you able to understand the difference now? It is purely a subjective vision. What is a subjective vision? Sir, this winter, I'm going on a 3 weeks trekking trip to Kailash Manasarovar. Will you say that? 3 weeks trekking. I'm going to Mount Everest, you can say. You can say, I'm trekking to the base camp of Everest, you can say. You can say this, but will you say, I'm trekking to Kailash Manasarovar? What will you say? It's pilgrimage, isn't it? It's pilgrimage. I like Tirupati Laddu as a dessert, sir. Will you say that? Will you say Tirupati Laddu is very good as a dessert? Will you say that? Somebody can say that, no? If that somebody says, is that person wrong? No. Why? Because that only when you have devotion to Balaji, that Tirupati Laddu becomes the prasad for you. It will not be the prasad for it will not be the prasad for somebody else. Only if you have devotion to the Shastra, Shabrimala, the ghee will be a prasad. If you don't have any connection at all with the deity, if you don't have anything to do at all with the deity, if somebody comes and gives you the ghee, what will you do? It will not invoke anything in you. Are you able to follow? Therefore, Saguna Brahman is the idol representing the ideal Nirguna Brahman. And the Saguna Brahman is purely a subjective phenomena. Subjective phenomena means only you can see it. See, because we have been brought up and trained under this culture here, wherever you see Ganesha, you will worship him, isn't it? If you are not brought up in this tradition and culture, if you don't have any of this background, how will Ganesha appear to you? What is this creature, you will ask? What is this creature? Elephant head, human body, that is also obese, isn't it? That is also not fit. Elephant head on an obese human body sitting on a mouse. Sitting on a mouse, isn't it? Munju. Sitting on what kind of... Now, you will not say that. Why? Because of the culture, the tradition, and the background knowledge and understanding, you understand Ganesha is representing something. Are you able to follow? That ideal is difficult to comprehend directly. Therefore, you need lot of idols to make you remember, to make you understand the ideal. And remember, idol is purely a subjective phenomena. That's what I'm trying to explain. Subjective phenomena means only if you are in that background and culture and tradition, it will mean something to you. Otherwise, it will not mean anything to you. There is something so beautiful in this Kapaleshwara temple here, isn't it? In Maila, something is there. I don't know what it is. Something is so beautiful there. Other places and all is not. Now, it is purely my subjective experience at all. It doesn't mean the other places are less holier. Are you able to follow? It doesn't mean the other places are. This is the difference between Saguna and Nirguna. Nirguna is the ideal. Saguna represents that Nirguna. Invariably, what happens? Is Saguna correct or Nirguna correct? Is ideal right? Is idol right or ideal right? Both are needed. Both are needed. Both are necessary. That is what these two mantras very beautifully says. Indra, Vayu, Agni excelled other gods because of the human Manushya. In that, Indra excelled Vayu and Agni. In that, Indra excelled Vayu and Agni, for he knew Brahman. To gain the knowledge of Brahman, which we already studied in detail yesterday a little bit and today also a little bit, to gain the knowledge of Brahman, Indra must have humility. Indra must have Shraddha. Indra must have humility and Indra must have Shraddha. Where there is these two, the presiding deity, Vayu, Agni represents organs of perception, organs of action. They cannot No. They cannot know. But they had a conversation. No, sir. What conversation? They didn't even know that it is Brahman, isn't it? It is like this. Take a simple example. I'm sitting with somebody in the flight. They, so long flight. After a point, you don't know what to do. So you start having conversation with the person next to you, and the person says, he is coming to meet me. And I also gave an appointment to meet that person. But in the flight, we didn't know each other. Can we say he met me in the flight itself? He cannot. Why? Because no knowledge of who got transpired. Are you able to follow? Next day, when we meet each other, ஏர்போர்ட்லயே அடுத்த ஃபிளைட் எடுத்து நீங்க திரும்பி போயிருந்திருக்கலாம். Isn't it? We could have finished it in the flight and taken the come out of the exit gate, get into the entrance gate and take the same flight. Are you able to follow? Indra, the sense organs, even though they were in contact, they cannot know who they were in contact with. That's why Yaksha spoke to them, but they can never ever know that they had a conversation with Brahman, with Yaksha. They can never ever know. Then Indra came. Yaksha disappeared. Uma came. Uma said, this is Brahman. And Indra understood it is Brahman. And Uma concluded by saying, because Indra excelled other gods, Indra knew Brahman. With this, the story is over. With this, the story is over. Now he's saying, I'm giving you Adesha, he's going to say. Adesha. Next mantra. I am introducing the next mantra. Upadesha and Adesha. Upadesha about Brahman happened already in chapter 1, section 1 and section 2. It already happened. Now here, even the exact Sanskrit word that he uses is Tasyaisha Adeshaha is going to say in mantra 4. The same Brahman that I said as Nirguna, I will talk to you as Saguna now. He's going to give illustrations about Brahman, which is Saguna. Again, Upadesha is Nirguna. When the same Nirguna Brahman is illustrated like Vishnu, like Shiva, that is Adesha. So, same Brahman is going to be spoken up, is going to be spoken through some examples. Through examples, the nature of Brahman will be revealed. Few examples is going to give. And each and every example is for Nididhyasana, he says. Each and every example can be contemplated upon. Each and every example can be contemplated upon. That we will start tomorrow, not today. Adesha we will start tomorrow, because we'll see the distinction between Upadesha and Adesha, and then we will see what it is. And then the Upanishad concludes. In a very traditional way, the Upanishad concludes. So the story part and the Uma's teaching ended with this mantra. Tasyaisha Adesha. Since what I spoke about is very subtle, that Nirguna is very subtle, I will give with some examples, illustrations. And that examples and illustrations can be further expanded into the Puranic story. That can be further from the Puranic story. It can be further expanded into human characters going through dilemmas. This is how the hierarchy of the Shastra: Shruti, Smriti, Purana, Itihasa. So we follow because all this Shastric literature, we say Shruti, Smriti, Purana, Itihasa. So what they did, that Adesha is going to come in mantra 4, which we will continue tomorrow. With this, we conclude for today. There's nothing, no? There's no questions, no? Yeah. With this, we conclude for today.